Hey everyone, on today's episode we're going to be making fresh pasta with some pasta sauce. So let's get started. So for the fresh pasta, it's only 2 ingredients. It's only, or I guess 3, but it's flour and egg. So what you're going to do is mix equal parts of semolina and wheat pasta and all-purpose flour, or you can use double Tivo if you have that. In my experience, I like the normal all-purpose flour better, but it's really your preference. So, and then you're gonna crack 1 egg into the well that you've created. To create the well, as you saw, it's just dump it out and use your fingers to go around. Then you're gonna mix that 1 egg into the flour. So the ratio is 100 grams of flour to 1 egg. You can scale this up. I don't know how you would really scale it down, but if your egg is small, you can add a little bit of water. So I could tell that this pasta was going to be a little dry, so I added a little bit of water, and it's always easier to add water early. So if you want to make pasta for 4 people, you can do 400 grams of flour and 4 eggs, and you're just going to mix it up and create this well and slowly incorporate some of the flour on the sides. So then you can keep doing that longer if you want, but here I decided to just use my bench scraper and start incorporating some of the flour a little more. And all you're gonna do is just chop it into the flour or chop it into the egg until it comes together like this. So it was a little bit wet and a little bit sticky, so how I brought it together was just by squeezing it, like you saw here. And it's pretty easy to do. And you're just gonna knead it until it's a nice small, smooth dough ball. So after resting your dough, you can roll it out using a pasta roller like this. And then you're just gonna fold it over and then roll it, and then you're just gonna keep folding it and rolling it. This helps develop the gluten a little bit and get it nice and smooth before you cut it into your sheet. So now you just need to change the setting over and over. You can also roll this out by hand, which I have a video on. It's the strangozzi, and it's the same dough. So you just repeat this going over and over, and it eventually gets thinner and longer, and then once you get to the thickness you like, you can cut it out into your shape. So here I did a thicker, like a fettuccine. You're just gonna put the attachment on and put the handle on, and then you're just gonna roll it out, and it should just cut it for you. And then you're gonna toss your pasta with some flour and fluff it up a little bit like this so it's all mixed. And then you can, if you're gonna let it stand for a while, I would put quite a bit of flour on it. But if you're gonna cook it right away, you don't need to. We waited a bit, so we put some extra flour on it. But all you have to do now is just cook it, which is pretty simple. So why don't we go into a sauce? So for the sauce, this is a pretty simple sauce, and it's just a few ingredients. So we're gonna start by dicing an onion into some nice small pieces. You don't have to be super fine with this. It's just pretty rough because it's just going to be stewed for a while, so you don't need to worry about it. And then here we have a few cloves of garlic, once again just pretty rough chopped. And then here I also have some dried meat that we're going to sear off. I put just a little bit of olive oil at first to get it going, and then it'll render a lot of its fat. This is just some salami that we had from when we made pizza, so I just diced it up and then put it in here. And you can entirely leave it out if you want to. I like it. It adds a little depth of flavor, but it's totally not necessary. So then you're just going to fry off some of the garlic and then the onions in the fat with the meat. One thing I forgot to do here, but it's really good, you can put some tomato paste and brown the tomato paste with everything, and the fond it creates is really delicious when you're making it. So then you're just going to put in 2 cans of the same tomatoes that we used for the pizza, and these are just peeled San Marzano tomatoes. All you need to do is put them in, 2 cans for every can of water. So since I put 2 cans in, I put 1 can of water in too, and then you just let it simmer for as long as you want. It'll thicken up, which is what you want, and the longer you let it simmer, you can add more water and just keep it going all day, and in my opinion, the better the flavor. Here I'm adding the tomato paste, and I'm adding it at this point to thicken it, but you can add it at the beginning in order to do the same thing. I'm also putting some oregano, some salt, and some pepper in just to finish it up. And then here you just cook the pasta. It should only take a minute in boiling water. You can let it go for a little bit longer, and since these are this is an egg pasta, it'll actually get a little bit more al dente, and then it'll start getting soggy. So I let it go a little bit longer, and then you just drain it out. You can plate it, you can have it by itself or with whatever you want. And then if you're using this pasta sauce, we didn't show it here, but what you really should do is you put it in a pan and then heat it up, and then you're going to put in your pasta and you're going to toss it in the pan with the hot sauce, and then it'll be nicely coated, and that's how you should eat it. Here we just put it on top just for plating, because we had it sitting for a little while. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.